Welcome on in, everyone, to episode 8 of the New World Top 5 Battles. If you have an awesome clip that you want to see in the top 5, you can send that to Kristofer at pvpnewworld.com. Best of luck to you guys. Now, starting off with the first clip today, we have got Inferno Staff. He is playing a Greatsword and Healing Staff build, and this build really surprised me when I saw the gameplay of it. Not only does he have awesome power with that Healing Staff, but he actually hits hard with his Greatsword. Combo that with the Explosion Ultimate, and he's got a very deadly build that is also very hard to kill. Now let's try to commentate this fight. There are a bunch of greens attacking Inferno Staff, and there's another yellow here with him. They're not partied up, so I'm going to assume that they're just kind of randos that are working together in this fight. And Inferno Staff picking up another kill with that Greatsword. The reach on the heavies getting right on top of him. And then he gets back onto the flag, pops down the healing circle, and then goes into the explosion. So much damage on this guy here. He's trying to just backpedal out of there. The friendly player coming in to put in a bit of pressure as well. And Inferno Staff managing to finish him off with the poke from the life staff. And then he's just throwing those heals down on the friendly and himself. And the range players in the back, man, they are not doing a lot to help their team in this fight because of that healing power that Inferno Staff is throwing down. And the friendly player right away getting on the player in the back line. Inferno Staff helping him out, finishing him off with that Greatsword light attack. And then back on top of the flag, and Inferno Staff just keeps throwing down those healing circles. Look at the almost 1k healing per second when he's standing in that circle. So much healing power. And he jumps on top of the enemy healer here, trying to put a bit of damage in, but he notices that one of the enemy opponents is a little bit lower on health. Inferno Staff unfortunately tracking into the dummy instead of the enemy player, and he just about got the finishing blow with that heavy attack from the life staff. That guy ends up escaping, and Inferno Staff's going to turn around and help out his friendly, throw down the healing circle. There is the explosive rune, huge damage on that. He goes for the spin on the Greatsword and brings down another green player, and Inferno Staff just kind of being patient. I think he wants to push onto that flag there. They do have the hammer guy on top of him, but they are throwing heals down on that hammer guy. Yeah, there you see a bit of target switch into the healer on the flag, and Inferno Staff just starts switching to the Greatsword, going for those heavy attacks. The friendly player goes for his explosive rune, gets good damage on the enemy healer. Inferno Staff getting right back on top with the spin from the Greatsword, and they take down the enemy healer. There's just 3 opponents left here, and they gang down the melee player. He ends up dying, and the last couple run away. Very cool fight, very cool build. Moving on to the next clip, we've got Ambriel playing some light armor, spear, and rapier in the arena. There you see he put a huge combo into that player, and he did get the kill from the dot on the spear, and now it's just a 2v1. Huge damage on that stun, and Ambriel getting very aggressive, trying to get that finishing blow here, and he goes for the sweep again, manages to finish him off with the poke, and then just gets around the corner and heals up. And just like that, it's down to the one-on-one. 2 of the enemy players down already. And Ambriel has got a tough fight for this last one. He's got to fight a Ice Gauntlet, Void Gauntlet player. I think when he's outnumbered, it's not as threatening because he can use his mobility to kind of kite this guy. But now that he's the last opponent, Ambriel has to try to get on top of the Ice Gauntlet, Void Gauntlet player. And there you see he's putting down all the AoE. And Ambriel just cannot get to him, just taking too much damage. And he's forced to retreat back behind the pillar, and he tries again. There he goes with the flourish and finish to close that gap. Does get the stagger, unfortunately just out of range with the poke there. And then the enemy player throws down his AoE circles. Ambriel backs up a little bit and then jumps right back through after the ice storm has finished there. And unfortunately he gets caught in the ice shower. And the amount of healing debuff that this guy has, Ambriel is definitely feeling the difficulty healing in this fight. And the enemy player just so good at holding his ground against this particular build. I think because I play Greatsword Rapier quite a lot right now, a full melee setup, personally, I have the hardest time fighting against a Void Gauntlet, Ice Gauntlet player because it's so hard to approach. And Ambriel is just doing his best. He has got almost no health, and he just goes for the combo, just managing not to get hit by that projectile, getting around the corner, and there you see the healing debuff on him as well. Ambriel is in a very tight spot here. He tries to jump the guy from around the corner, and there he lands with the spear, and yeah, this is not great. And Ambriel just decides to go offensive. He goes for the explosive rune and just jumps on top of him. Huge damage. And he manages to win that fight. On to the next fight. We have got Brozay, and he is playing Rapier and Greatsword light armor. Very, very fun and fast mobile light armor build. And look at the damage right off the bat. He kills the guy on the flag. So clean with the evade cancel. The next guy going down, and right as the hammer guy comes in, just beautiful iframes there. He is timing these attacks so perfect. The hammer guy just completely missing that stun. And Brozay just starts feeding him the damage with the Greatsword here. Nice little movement to dodge the incoming shield stun. And he brings another player down, and then he's just going to wait to see who's going to come on top of the flag here. I love that little position around the enemy spear player, avoiding the attack with evade. And then he gets that heavy attack to break his block, and that is going to be a GG. Both the Greatsword skills coming in there and just putting huge damage into that guy. And then Brozay right away starts working on the next target. This guy here is trying his best not to eat those combos, but there's the flourish and finish into the second light attack at the end there, and he ends up going down. And then two more players come into the flag here. Brozay right away coming out the door. He jumps on top of the blunderbuss player, and he does eat the stun from the spear, but he quickly switches to Greatsword after getting freed from that, goes for the spin through, and then brings down the spear player. He takes a bit of damage from a ranged opponent and the hammer guy there, but right away just healing up and then jumping back on top of the hammer player. This guy is blocking on very low stam, and there is the stun break, and he ends up just going down to that combo. And now Brozay is going to go for the explosive rune, jumping on top of the spear guy, trying to block the attacks. Again, just gassing him out of stam from that block, and he goes down to the smooth combos there from Rapier. And Brozay just keeping the pressure on these red as they come pouring in. Oh my god, he's just cutting them all down. Now, moving on to the next clip, we've got Descompensado playing some Greatsword Hatchet in the arena. You know it, he's got that 3-on-1 opportunity here, right away jumping on top of the archer, and that guy just eats the Greatsword combo. He ends up going down, and Descompensado just turning through the Greatsword player to jump on top of the healer or the Fire Staff player in the back there, and then does a huge crit with the steadfast strike. That guy ends up going down, and a weird little dance there between these two guys. I think the thought there was trying to get the other player to use the move first and react to it, but nobody ended up doing anything. And now Descompensado and this guy are just exchanging blows. He gets huge damage in the hatchet player, and there's the social distance throw to finish him off. Well played. And for the last fight today, we have got Krayzd, and he is playing some medium, spear, and rapier. And this fight is insane. Krayzd is an OPR. He's got a bunch of players chasing him, and he just turns around, feeds the first player the stun, and then the perforate, getting huge damage into him, and he actually manages to seal the kill on that right as he's just about to die. Very, very low hit points, and then Krayzd is going to have to do some mad kiting here to try not to die. He's using the kick from the spear just to reposition as well. I love it. Turns around, gets the riposte, the evade forward, and the flash to get to a little bit of safety. And I love how he's zigging and zagging the whole time just to not get hit by those projectiles. And now he's on the corner here. He's got a little bit of LOS with the tip of the hill, and he gets a huge combo on one of the players at the top, almost managing to finish him off. And Krayzd gets a moment just to drink the potions there, and two players jump down. The one player he put a lot of damage jumps down as well. There you see he gets the riposte, turns into the perforate. Big damage on that guy, and there's the finishing blow. He ends up going down, and Krayzd is just going to keep poking the next player, brings him down with the light attack combo as well, and then jumps right on top of the enemy mage, starts feeding him those light attacks, and this guy's trying to back up with the blunderbuss, forced into the ice tomb, and Krayzd just very patient, waits for him to come out, and then feeds him the light attacks with his spear. And then as the next player jumps on top, he goes for that riposte, doesn't manage to get the stun as that guy ends up dodging it, but Krayzd so fast. The iframes in medium armor, he's just got a crazy amount of dodge and ability to keep his stamina up, and he goes right past the Greatsword player as he turns around. Krayzd turns on top of him again, the Greatsword player trying to run away. There's the kick from the spear, and he finishes him off. What a fantastic fight. Fantastic fights from everybody featured in today's episode. Of course, if you guys want to check out the channels of everyone featured today, there are links down below for you guys. The last and bonus clip that we've got here is again from Inferno Staff, and this is a 1v3 on that Life Staff Greatsword build. So I hope that you guys enjoy. Again, if you want to send in your own clips, you can send those to Kristofer at pvpnewworld.com. You can catch me live on Twitch. There's a link down below for you. And check out my website, pvpnewworld.com. It's got a lot of builds on there. A quick shout out to our sponsor, ExpressVPN, helping you browse the internet safely and securely. If you want to sign up with them and get a deal, you can through the link down below. And of course, a massive thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon for supporting the show. Thank you guys so much. Thank you everybody just for tuning in and watching today. Of course, I hope you're looking forward to more in the future. Have a great night, everybody, and I'll see you next time.